Welcome to our project named handwriting generator. What we did in this project is shown in this flowchart. First we have to give some input images, then we read those images using Matlab, take some data points from those images and we generate equations according to those data points. Next we plot those images on Matlab. The input image which is used in this project is shown here, and here are the digits that we have cropped from the input image. Now this is the set of code that we use to take our data points. imRead function reads the image into Matlab workspace. Then RGB to gray function converts it to grayscale image. im2bw function converts the image to black and white. imShow function shows it on Matlab, and thenginput function takes the data points where we click on the image. As we have entered the code, this image is open. Now we can take the data points by clicking on the image, and where we click, the x ordinate is placed in the x variable and y ordinate is placed in the y variable. After we have finished taking our data points, we press enter.
Now we'll explain the code. If we run the code, then the graphical user interface is opened. Here is the edit box where the user can give his input. Suppose he wants to show 216 and he can pick his choice like bold and normal. Then he can give his desired size. Suppose the size is 3, and then the plot is shown. If he wants to change the size, suppose he wants to see the size 4, then the size 4 is shown, and he can also pick his choice like italic. He can also change the digits like 3, 6, 7, and then 3, 6, 7 are shown. Now we'll explain the code. Here is the code. Here guide of the Matlab program has been used to produce the graphical user interface shown before. At first there are the opening and output functions, then there are the inp callback and inp create functions which take the input from the user. Then there are the radio button functions such as normal callback, bold callback, normal for callback, and it callback, which take the user's choices of normal, font, bold font, etc. And code has been adjusted so that only one choice at a time can be given and the user can't simultaneously choose bold and normal font. Then we'll explain the main code here. At first we read the whole string, then according to user's choice, bold and LW variables are set, which actually correspond to line width and italic options. Now according to the user's choice, size variable is set. Now for the whole length of the string, we check only acceptable digit characters have been given as input. If so, it's okay, otherwise an error message is shown. Now for the whole length of the string, we read each character one by one, and then corresponding equations have been generated and plotted. Suppose if the character is 1, then this segment of the code gets executed. Here are the x and y data points corresponding to 1, which have been generated using ginput by reading the image of 1. Now x and y data points here are adjusted according to the position of the character. Now if the user chooses italic option, then the x data points have been again readjusted. Then x and y data points are readjusted according to the size given by the user. Now we use the x and y data points to produce the equations of x and y in terms of the parameter t using lag function, which is the normal Lagrange function. Here then we get the equations of x and y in terms of parameter t, and the coefficients are saved in the variables s and n. Then we print the equations of x and y in terms of parameter t in the command line. Now for the whole length of t, we evaluate x and y using the equations generated by the lag function, and we plot the values of x and y, and the whole process is repeated for all the other digits such as 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. And at the end of our code, the axis settings is also readjusted according to the size of the string, and it is given here.
We can make some future improvements of this project, like data point generation may be made automatic, smoothness of graph can be improved, more letters can be added, and algorithm may be made more efficient.